Hello and welcome to my channel. I wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chathurthi, and you guessed it right, we are going to create Lord Ganesha's painting in traditional style. To check all the material list and every detail, you can always look in the description box below, where you'll also find a link for the same video in Hindi. As you know, only on my channel I make videos both in English and Hindi for you guys. So do subscribe to this channel before we begin. So I'm going to use today A3 size paper, which is around 300 GSM. It's a thick paper. And for sketching, you can use either pens or such a nib in holder, which looks like this one. It's just like a calligraphy pen. Now this nib needs to be dipped in paint or ink, and today I'm going to use this calligraphy ink, black color. So I'm going to pour it out in a bowl. Sometimes this comes in a very convenient bottle where you can directly pour it in the bottle and start sketching, but I don't have that. So whatever is available, we have to adapt to it and we have to find a solution. So I'm just pouring it out in a bowl in not much quantity, a very small quantity, so that we don't waste a lot of ink. But of course, when there is some remaining in the bottle, I can pour it back inside. So this is how it works. This is how you dip the nib inside the paint or ink, whatever medium you are using, and draw the lines or draw the design. So we begin with the borders as usual. So we are going to first draw the frame on all four sides, like this one, the double line frame, which we always do. And since this is a bigger canvas, I'm going to do two border designs. I'm going to make multiple borders, which looks really beautiful. So we are going to do that. So stay tuned. And one more thing, guys, I have seen that many of you do watch my channel but haven't yet subscribed. So please do it, because it's for you it's just absolutely free, but for me it's a big motivation. So if you want me to make more and more videos, please subscribe to this channel. So here we go, and we are just going to do it on the other side as well. So we are going to draw the lines like this on the other side, and just create a frame first so that we can draw the border design. So today's border design is very simple and easy. So absolutely you can do it, as a beginner also. But this painting is a little bit bigger, and as you requested on my channel to make a bigger painting so that you can make it as a wall art, many of you have requested that. So I've started doing a little bit bigger paintings. So here we go. We are just first going to do, a leaf-like pattern for the border. So the first border design is simple leaf-like pattern connected to one another at the end and giving it a nice shape like this one. And then you do it this way on the other side. So you have to completely fill the border with this design, which is a very simple, pretty simple design. And I have already used this design probably in my channel, I guess so. I did that earlier also. So it's a very simple design, and then what you do is shade it with fine lines on the outside. These fine lines are very important element of Madhubani painting. You will see it often used. So this is a very important thing which you have to often use it in the design, or for borders, or for multiple designs when we proceed. So the other design that I'm using, as I said, we are going to create multiple border designs. So here we go. We are just going to use circles connected to one another inside the border, the second border. So here we go. And then just drawing the double lined frame. So we have to continue these two borders and finish it on all four sides. And then we move on to the main figure of Ganpati Bappa. So here what I'm doing just is every alternate I'm shading with fine lines. So the blank ones left is going to be filled with color. So this is how the border looks after it is done. Now we start with the main figure of Ganesha. We start always with face. So you have to leave a little bit space on top, because of course Ganesha's head will have a kind of a crown or a mukut on top. So that's why you have to leave a little bit space on top. So here we go. We just draw kind of a half circle, not complete, and then connect the trunk of the Lord Ganesha, because his face is like an elephant. So we are going to do that, and then do the double line on every side, whatever we created. So these double line is also another very important element of Madhubani painting. It helps you separate one color from another. And as I said also in my last video, that when I was talking to a Mithila artist and asked him why we do this double lines, so he said that the relevance is, because the double lines is a symbol of Shiva and Shakti. That is why they always remain together. So that is why it is used so much in Madhubani painting. But if practically you look at this, then I think that it is also used to separate one pattern from another or one color from another. And, this helps in highlighting the colors. So this is how it is. And it has also been used since many years. So yeah, that's how we draw a Madhubani painting using these double lines. So this is how we go. And then we do the eye on the other side as well. So you have to basically repeat. And the curly hair, we just try to draw the hair on top, and the bottom we are going to fill it with black paint or the black ink that I'm using. Now the ears on both sides. So you have to just repeat the pattern on both sides of the ears. And then do the double line again. And similarly on the other side. So here we go. We're just going to do this. And then, as I said, we have to leave a little bit space on top so that we can create the crown on his head, which is just mostly like a leaf-like pattern. I have not done much, design here, but keep it simple because if you see and observe Madhubani painting, it's quite a naive form of art. It is very decorative with these fine lines and patterns inside. But generally, if you look at it, if you look a very traditional painting, it's very naive and simple in terms of forms. So here we go. And just trying to create a leaf-like pattern. And these are the places where you fill in black paint. And then here, just creating these parallel lines, slant lines, and then shading every alternate with fine lines, because the blank space wherever we leave is going to be filled with colors, which comes in the end, of course. So this is done, the face part is done, and we move on to the body part. And then we use simple lines. As you see, I have kept it super simple. It is, of course, doable also for the beginners who is trying to do this for the first time. But yeah, of course, you need a little bit practice with this nib in holder. So you can always start with a pen. That's okay in the beginning. Because this nib is also very tiring, because you have to always constantly dip it in paint and keep sketching. So that can be a little bit difficult process for a beginner. And you might get disheartened if you make a mistake or something. But don't worry, guys. I have specially started a new section on my channel, which will come every Sunday, most probably every Sunday, or I'll update. You can always check the update whenever it comes. If you press the bell icon and do subscribe to my channel. I've started posting quick art tips, in which I will I will discuss such things also, where, if you make a mistake, how can you rectify it? How can you correct it? So we are going to do such section. If you missed the video last week, we did it on a nice section on digital art or digital painting that we created, how to select colors from a painting, which is very interesting if you are using Procreate app. So you can check the link in the description box. I have posted it there. So it was done last Sunday. So this is a new thing that I'm trying on my channel. Do watch it and do support me. Do like the videos. Do like this video if you like it. So this is how you support me, and this is how you motivate me to make more and more videos for you guys. So thank you so much for all those who always constantly comment and support me and like this video. So thank you so much. So here we go. We are just going to, we finish with the two hands, and then we are going to do the tummy. So it is going to be a little bit bigger tummy, because Lord Ganesha has a bigger tummy. So that's how the shape of the tummy is, a little bit bigger. And then the fine details here, adding a little bit. So here we go. We are just going to fill it again with fine lines. So as I said earlier also, while we were doing the borders, these fine lines are going to stay with you. If you're making Madhubani painting, it's a very, very important element, and you are going to use it quite often. So we are going to do the details here. So again, we are going to add some tiny details on his trunk, and then we are going to also add tiny floral patterns here on the trunk. So also, guys, please follow me on Instagram at Dattanushri, where you can see all the details, all my paintings, and also my paintings which I create apart from these tutorials. So you can see that and get inspired. And if you're recreating this painting, do tag me and do mention it in the credits, so so that you can support me in this way as well. So we are going to continue and do the bottom part now. So I'm going to show in this painting that Lord Ganesha is sitting in a sitting posture. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm just trying to create the feet. So this is a very simple way to create a feet, and it looks really nice. So you basically join it, the entire thing with the thumb, and then tiny details add to it, showing the toes. So, and then trying to create that he's sitting. So a little bit curve initially, and then in the end, and adding some fine details, some designs. So this is how we go about it, and we are going to do it again on the other side as well. So we are going to do it on the other side. So I have to be a little bit careful while I am drawing. And as I said, do watch the section on Sunday where I show you exactly that. I give you some art tips, and this time I'm going to show you, if you make a mistake, how you can rectify it, how you can correct it. So that will be a tip from my side, because I also do make mistakes, but you can easily change it. You don't need to be worried about it. We all make mistakes, but how you can correct it, or those hacks in Madhubani painting, we are going to discuss that on Sunday. So here we go. We are going to do the the section where he's wearing a dhoti, the bottom wear that we are showing. So we are going to decorate that as well. So we are going to do that. And the tiny detail in the end. So this is the extension of the bottom wear that he's wearing. So beautifying it a little bit. And then adding some details here as well, some circular patterns, not much, keeping it very simple, as I said earlier also. But these simple patterns, when done, together, when done, so, these intricate patterns, when these small patterns create that intricacy, it makes it very, very beautiful. The whole painting looks really nice. So here we go. And now adding the two more hands that he has. So one was the two initially we added, and the other two we are going to add now. So here he is holding a shank in his hand. So we are going to do that. So this is the shank in his hand. So as you see here, super simple patterns. We are not doing much. We are just using simple patterns to create it. And tiny details, of course, because this shank that is drawn here, I'm going to leave it wide. So I'm just creating some patterns inside so that it looks more interesting. So just creating these semicircles, parallel lines, and then fine lines. So these are also very, very important element of Madhubani painting. So such patterns and designs created inside a motif or created inside any design is very, very important. Now here in the hands as well, we are going to create these patterns. So we are going to repeat it for all the 4 hands that we create, the same pattern as I already sketched, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So here we go. These are fine lines, semicircles, again the repeating the pattern, and these are again lined pattern. So these basically, if you see, it's more or less geometrical patterns, circles, lines, semicircles. So it's very, very simple, but once combined and once composed together, it makes it beautiful. So these fine lines again, and then a floral pattern here. So as I always say that these are the important elements, so you have to keep in mind the fine lines, floral patterns, geometric patterns, lines, circles, squares. So these are important element of Madhubani painting. So as we drew the hand on the other side, on the right hand side, we are also going to do the left hand side. So we are just going to do the other hand, and in this hand I'm going to show that Lord Ganesha is carrying a lotus. And today's painting, I have decided to keep it, different from what I do always. I'm going to use a blend of similar colors like red, yellow, orange. That's in my mind, so that we can keep it simple but very, very nice and beautiful, and also unique from what I always do. So let's see how that turns out to be. That is my plan, and that is how I'm going to go ahead with it. Let's see how it looks like. But initially, first of all, we have to finish the sketch. So that's the most important thing first in any painting, because colors, of course, you can always decide what all colors you want to use. But the first and most important thing is the sketch. So here in the dhoti that we created, the bottom wear that we created, we are going to use this design. So I already sketched it on one side. I'm going to repeat it on the other side. So this is what you are also going to do. So these semicircular big floral patterns, and then do the double line effect, and then shade it with fine lines. So here we go. And then some details in the bottom part as well. As I did on the other side, I'm going to repeat it for you so that you can have a look at it and how it's done. So here we go. In the end, always I share the painting, and in between, when the sketch is done, I always share the sketch so that you can look at them in this in your screen. You can zoom in and see how it is turned out to be, so that it's easier. And then here the floral pattern. Now the floral pattern, it's a little bit different on this side because I made it near the waist on the other side, on the left side. But on the right side, what I'm doing is creating here, because near the waist I have drawn the hand already. So I'm going to change the position a little bit here, but it's going to be the same flower, same floral pattern. So I'm going to do that. So here some lines, and these repeated lines are actually beautify this and makes this art form very, very unique. So here again, fine lines in between, and then going to do that parallel lines, and always shading every alternate with fine lines. So here you have to note that below the waist and then on the calf side, I have changed the direction of the line so that it looks that the leg is folded. So that is what you have to note. So here near the waist, the direction of the line is different than what I'm drawing right now in the calf. So that is what I have changed a little bit, and that is what if you do it, it looks that the posture of the leg is in a seated manner. He's sitting on something, and basically we are going to draw a mouse or a rat, which is called the Vahan of Lord Ganesha. So we are going to show that he's sitting on that. So we are going to do that as well. Now some little tiny floral pattern here. So very easy ones. These floral patterns, they are also used a lot in Madhubani painting. And here some circles, some circular pattern here. And then we move on, and we're just going to complete these fine lines just to show you. And then on top, we are going to do some kind of decoration. So this is kind of, giving that mandir shape or the temple shape, and just creating that on both sides. So I had a little bit space and I wanted to create that effect here. So I'm just trying to do that and do the double line. In fact, I'm going to do a triple line here, which I'll do later because I think that looks better. Now I'm going to do the same floral pattern and one more line here, because I have a little bit space and I think it will create a nice effect. So I'm going to repeat the same on the other side and fill it completely with those floral patterns. And now I'm going to draw the mouse on which Lord Ganesha is sitting. Of course, the mouse is an extra large size because we have to, show that Lord Ganesha is sitting on him. And there is also a story behind it, if you all know. So here we go. Just creating the eyes, ears. Very simple form used. As I said earlier also, if you look at the traditional Madhubani painting, it's a very naive and very simple way to represent, or a simple way of storytelling. So we are going to follow that. We are going to make it traditional style. So here we go. We are just going to extend here the back side and then show the tail. Simple curves, not much. And then the body with simple curves, and then legs. That's it. It's super simple. Not much to do. The front part, of course, it's extra large size mouse because he is basically seating the Lord Ganesha. He's sitting on him, so it has to be a little bit larger sized. And then I'm going to add some patterns here on the body of the mouse. So some checks, again, very simple patterns used. So here I'm going to add some checks. And as you already see that I have added some pattern in the legs, which I'm going to also show you how to do it. So here, just creating these checks. So we are going to do that on the other side as well. So first separate it with double lines, and we are going to do the same on the other side. And then here, as the body of the rat, we are going to fill it with these small circles. Just simple circles. And then in the tail as well, these circles, and then separate it every alternate with these fine lined patterns as well. Again, that's how you do it. Fine lines, and keep moving ahead, and similarly in the legs as well. Fine lines, like you create the parallel box like structure with double line, and then shade it with fine lines. And then again leave a little space, and then again the bottom part with fine lines, and in between wherever you see the space, you just put in the circles. So here we go. This is what I'm going to do, and repeat it in all four legs. So most of the sketch is complete. I'm just going to add those circles as here as well in the face and the body. So you have to completely cover it with that. And a little bit here. And then for the background, I'm just going to add tiny floral pattern. That's it. The same, a little bit larger in size for the background. So you have to arrange it randomly. So it shows that, the flowers are pouring on or showering on Lord Ganesha. So it makes it look very festive and also beautiful. So this is what we are going to repeat and do. And this is exactly how the sketch looks like once it is done. And now is the time to fill in beautiful bright colors. And as I said earlier, that I'm going to keep the palette very simple this time. And I'm going to use red, yellow and orange for most of the coloring. So we are going to start with my favorite, which is red. So these are the places where we are going to do red. And those flowers that we drew, those tiny little floral patterns, you have to leave them blank. There will be no color inside, except in the center with a yellow dot, you can use that. But otherwise, they will just remain like that, and they immediately highlight once the color is completely filled. And this is how we do it. The red pattern, the color, the red color around the pattern. And slowly you have to use a very fine thin brush so that you can do it slowly and gradually, because you have to take care, because these are so fine and minute details. You have to really take care. And here you are going to fill in yellow in his dhoti. So we are going to use a mix of yellow, red and orange. So we are going to also use yellow in the borders, yellow and red. So mostly these are the three main colors that we are going to use. So I'm just marking everywhere where we are going to do the red, where we are going to do yellow, so that we quickly finish the coloring. So I'm going to do here as well in the flower or the floral pattern that we created. And I am going to also use the red, yellow for the border, and the orange comes in now. So a little bit combination. You have to always think it in advance. So here also for the border. So this part of the border is filled with orange. And then we move on. Wherever we left it blank, as I said, we will fill it with colors. So here comes the orange. And then we move on. And as I said, red and yellow for the borders. So the main border, the outside border, is going to be combined with red and yellow. Every alternate with red. And the blank part, after the red is done, you fill it with yellow. So it's a combination. And here also red is going to be. So we are going to fill it with yellow now. Here. So every alternate, then red, yellow, it's going to be the pattern that we are going to follow for the outside border. And this is how it looks like after we are done with one section. Then I'm using a skin color for the face and the trunk and the hands. So I'm not yet convinced with the body. Maybe I'm going to add some details in the body. So I'm going to leave it blank, the tummy part. So I'm just going to add skin color in the hands and the face. And then adding some orange here in the check pattern. So every alternate leaving white and then orange. And some in the ears also. And here a little bit brown. So this is one extra bit of color that I'm using for the mouse. So the entire place where you see that circular pattern, it's going to be brown. And in the tail, I'm going to combine it with orange. So orange, brown, something like that, every alternate. And here brown. Then in the back portion as well. So this is basically, after filling in colors, this is how the painting looks like. Till now it looks nice and very bright. Now I'm going to just create some pattern. So I'm just quickly using a pen to do it. Of course, you can do it with nib. So I just forgot this section and I'm going to create some circular patterns filled in with fine lines and going to fill this section, this torso part, this tummy part and everywhere. The top part of the body, because it was looking a little bit empty and I added a little pendant there. So these are the details that I added. And then I'm going to fill in orange color. So this is the last bit. We are almost through with the painting. This is the last part that we have to finish. Yet don't forget to like this video. Please, please, please help me reach more people, and do subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet. And thank you so much for watching this video. I wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chathurthi once again, and have a nice celebration with your family. And we will see each other next week with a new tutorial, new video. And don't forget to watch the Sunday special video. And this is how the painting looks like. Thank you once again. Do share this video with your friends. Thanks.